You know that feeling when you walk into, say, a high-end sports bar or a corporate lobby and you see one of those massive video
Oh,
walls?
yeah. They're impressive.
So impressive. But then you spot it. The top left corner is lagging just a tiny, tiny bit behind the rest.
And it completely ruins the illusion. Once you see that tear in the image, that's all you can look at.
It drives me crazy. So today we're doing a deep dive into the invisible infrastructure that prevents that exact nightmare.
The plumbing in the walls.
Exactly. We're looking at a specific piece of hardware called the Wolfpack 4-port 1080p LHDT Output Card.
It sounds super technical.
It is, but our mission here is to figure out why this specific, $450 component is kind of the heartbeat of these professional AV setups.
And component is the right word. This isn't a gadget you just buy and plug in. It's a card that slots into a much bigger system.
Right. I was looking at the documentation for these chassis systems.
Hmm.
They're absolute beasts. They go from an 8x8 setup to like 160 by 160 grids. It actually reminds me of building a custom PC. You have this massive chassis, the motherboard, and then you slot in specific cards for specific jobs.
That's a perfect analogy. And this Wolfpack card, the LHDT output, is basically the graphics card for 4 independent 1080p displays.
But the real magic and the reason it costs what it does is hidden in that acronym, right? LHDT.
That's it.
We have to unpack that because it sounds like there's another tech buzzword. This isn't standard HDMI, is it?
No, not even close. Standard HDMI is great for your TV at home, but it has terrible range, it degrades fast.
Okay.
LHDT stands for long-haul digital transmission. It's engineered to take that video signal and just push it over really long distances.
Usually over what, like a standard Ethernet cable?
Exactly, and without losing signal integrity, and crucially, without latency.
Ah, there it is. The specs I saw emphasized advanced low latency processing.
Which is everything. On a video wall, latency is the enemy. This card's whole job is making sure all 4 outputs are perfectly, and I mean perfectly, synced.
So you don't get that tearing effect.
You don't get the tear. You get one seamless image. This is built for 247 operations in, control rooms or digital billboards. Failure is not an option.
Okay, so let's talk about the cost of that reliability. The card itself is listed at $450.
Right.
And availability seems pretty standard, 3 to 4 days. But as I was digging through the supply guide, I found a little bit of a gotcha.
The hidden infrastructure cost. Always is.
Right. You can't just plug this LHDT card directly into a TV because the TV speaks HDMI.
The card is shouting in a different language. You need a translator at the other end.
Which is another piece of hardware. The sources list a 1080p LHDT receiver.
And those are about $125 a piece.
So if I'm setting up a 4-screen wall, I need the one $450 card in the closet, plus 4 of those $125 receivers, one behind each screen.
Yep. It essentially doubles the hardware cost for that part of the setup. But I mean, the alternative is running 4 50-foot HDMI cables and just praying.
Not a great strategy. Now, we did look at some alternatives in the Wolfpack ecosystem, and this card sits in a really interesting spot.
It does.
You've got the standard 4-port HDMI output card for just $250.
Much cheaper, but then you're stuck with those short cable limits of HDMI.
And there's a fiber output card, also $250. That sounds like a steal.
It sounds like it until you realize you now have to run fiber optic cable through your building. LHT just uses the Cat6 that's probably already there.
That's a huge point. And then you get to the 4K options. An HD base T card for $475, a universal card for $525. And here's what's so interesting to me. This LHDT card is $450, almost the same price as the 4K options, but it's only 1080p.
And that tells you something really profound about the professional market, doesn't it?
It does.
In these specialized setups, rock-solid, stable 1080p is often way more valuable than temperamental 4K.
That's a massive takeaway. As consumers, we obsess over resolution. But in commercial AV, the most important spec is just, it works.
Absolutely. If a digital billboard crashes, you're losing ad revenue. Nobody is going to care that the crash was in beautiful 4K.
So next time you're staring at one of those perfectly seamless video walls, you can know there's probably a card like this one humming away in a server closet somewhere.
It does make you wonder, though. As we push for 8K, 16K, are we getting to a point where the plumbing behind the walls, the cables and the cards, just physically can't keep up with the screens we're making?
We might be building displays our buildings just aren't wired to handle. Something to think about next time you see a digital sign. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.